One of the guys who coaches a position group who's been under duress all year because of injury is Ron Milus. Ron Milus, a longtime coach, a DB coach in the NFL, who's taking good care of the safeties and the cornerbacks on this team, getting them ready to play in the Gus Bradley system. You know what? A lot of guys down. Isaiah Rodgers, down. Juju Brents went down this past week. Dallas Flowers, down. You know, there are a lot of guys who they've had to bring in with kind of short notice and say, go play. It's your time. You're up. Ron Milus talks about that and talks about Julian Blackman a little bit and how well Julian Blackman has been able to play in that box safety role because the Colts play that single high.
There might be a shift and there might be a motion and then there's a jet. So the game in that way, in my opinion, has changed. And so the nickel has even become even more valuable because, again, he's half a corner, he's half a linebacker.
When you see him putting up 7 TFLs, getting a sack and a half like he did, what else can he, like, how does that allow you to use him in different ways other than just a line up and play corner type guy?
Well, I think that's what we've I don't know if you've noticed, especially in the last couple of weeks, you said it, we've blitzed him quite a bit. He affects the run on the edge, so if they want to somehow have a strong side run that comes to the passing string, I'm betting on Kenny's going to affect that play in a positive way for us. If there's a run that might hit a B gap off a jet, I'm gonna take Kenny's going to be in the right spot. Now he might not be a knockback tackle because he's not a linebacker size guy, but he's going to at least be in the spot where he can make a nice tackle and give us a chance to line up for the next play. So once again, Kenny is he's a unique guy for a guy that doesn't have stature, but he plays a lot bigger than his stature.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you.
Not a problem.
I'm jumping in late, so if you've been asked this already, I apologize.
You're good.
Julian seems to be playing out of his mind really, really well, kind of blossomed this year. Is there a reason for that?
Well, here's what I'll say about Julian. And when we made the decision in the offseason, okay, Julian, we're going to transition you from being primarily a free safety. We're going to transition you to a strong safety. Now, what's going to happen? You're going to be around the ball a lot more. You're going to be able to affect the game a lot more. And I think that's what you're seeing. He's closer to the ball, and he's around the ball more. And our style of defense, we're more of a single high defense for the most part. That guy in the back, yeah, you might get 6 or 7 opportunities in a game, but the guy that's down where he's playing is going to be around the ball a lot more, both in the run game as well in the pass game. So I've been very pleased with him because part of it too, him and Kenny to me are like the same kind of guy. They've got the football knowledge that you can make an adjustment. All right, and it might be something we did 3 weeks ago. We can do that on the field, and we don't have to draw it up. We don't have to, I don't know. Okay, remember what we did, such and such? Okay, all right, no problem, coach, got it. We go out and do it.
How much can he freelance?
No, we're not a freelance. There's not a lot of freelance to what we're doing. No, it's orchestrated. No, he's playing within our defense. So he's not just going out there. I see something over there, I'm gonna run over there. No, we're not letting that happen. So he's playing within what we're trying to get done. So I'm very pleased with. I'm gonna throw Kenny in there because that's who we were talking about prior. Both of those guys have been very good, and they're both edge defensive guys for us. I mean, Kenny goes to the strong side. Even though it says strong safety, that guy normally goes away from Kenny in our style of defense. He goes away from Kenny and he's on the weak side. So we got 2 veteran players that kind of know how to handle themselves out there.
Under duress, this group of corners, I mean, you just keep losing guys and it's next man up. How do you deal with that as that position coach?
Well, I mean, it's just all part of the game. I mean, I think we said these to these guys at the beginning of the year, especially in training camp. Those guys that have a seat in this room might even be on practice squad, might be the 5th corner. At some point, you're going to play. I can't tell you when it's going to happen, but you're going to play. And watch what'll happen. It'll be a practice squad guy we'll probably bring up this week. And next thing you know, he will be in the game, and you're like, where'd he come from? Well, he was in the room. He got himself ready to play, and that's kind of what it's going to be.
Perfect.
And whoever's out there, they're expecting to play well, whoever that might be.
With Amir Speed, you brought him in last week, and we saw, It's a quick game. How quickly can you get him up to speed for this week?
Well, probably not so much this week. I don't. It'd be hard for him.
Right.
Like I was saying with some of the stuff that Kenny and what JB does. Hey, I can't go to a mirror and say, hey, 3 weeks ago we did this. He doesn't have those banks experiences. So, but here's what I'm impressed about. Just the one day out there yesterday, I like the size. One, I like the movement. I like his demeanor in the room, and it seems like he's going to be a fairly quick study. Like you said, this is not. Even though we might be playing 3 deep per se, there's a lot more going on than just playing a high school 3. This is not high school 3. There's pre-snap indicators. There's a lot of stuff that happens. Hey, there might be a post-snap indicator that Amir has no idea what we're talking about, and we're trying to get him up to speed with our language and how we go about our business. So, and every team's different, and we're different from. I think he was in New England, different from how New England went about their business. So.
Last thing, Jalen Jones has been thrust upon. He's really played well. What have you seen out of Jalen Jones at this point?
Well, he's what he did was you go back to training camp, and he had situations in training camp where he showed his ability. Some of the one-on-ones in training camp. I'm how I want to put it. I'm very happy for the kid because he tries hard. He tries to please. And if he makes a mistake, it's an honest mistake. It's not because he's not concentrating on something. It's an honest mistake. So I like where he's at right now. He's got size, he's got speed, and one of the things that you could tell during the draft and how some of the guys that we brought in, we're getting a little bit longer as far as the size of our at least the corners, and he fits the bill. And Juju looks the same as him. Amir looks the same as, they all kind of look the same, but we can't have them all look like, centers in the basketball team. They all can't be point guards either. So we got to be, there's that little happy balance in between.
That's Ron Milus. Made me laugh when he talked about, I asked about freelancing, like a guy could just go out there and do whatever the hell he wants. His response was really, really funny. Ron Milus, a really good dude, and that defensive backfield, that secondary, playing well this season, and again, under duress. Although the safeties kind of unaffected by injury, the cornerbacks really affected by injury.